Hey Luna Loves! July's House of Rituals box is here. It's a lot smaller than usual if I do recall correctly. Makes me a little sad, but it is the mini box, so you know, the stuff they included might be smaller. It's okay. I have a prediction that it's going to be Lammas themed since today is the 28th and Lammas is in literally like 3-4 days. So, we'll see if I'm right. As soon as I struggle to get it open. Okay. The first harvest celebrating Lu. Lammas. It's also called, I always mess this word up. Oh yeah. Lunasa. I call it Lammas because it's easier to say. Either way is correct, it's the same festival. Okay, July's House of Rituals box honors the union of Lu and Mother Earth. We call this time Lunasa, the first of 3 harvests where both sacrifice and abundance are celebrated. The long days of summer begin to wane as Lu, the sun, renews his vows to the earth. The celebration of Lunasa is bittersweet. As each day passes, Lu's light begins to dim, while the goddess glows with the life of future harvests. Oh, right on top we have this little, like, figure. I can't remember what these are called, but I know what it is. It's like a corn husk doll of types. You can, I guess you decorate it with herbs and stuff, right? And then you burn it. My magic has not included these yet, so I'm not entirely 100% sure. But it's really cool that I have one now and I can work with it, so that's cool. See, and a little tiny candle with the sun and moon. No smell. I always check if they smell. Charcoal discs. I have a ton of these, but at one time I didn't, and I would be very happy they included it since I don't have them. They include everything you need, and I appreciate that. Why is there a card? Oh. Okay. There's another company's card in here that says 10% off my next order. My first order. Maybe they helped provide some of the supplies that are in the box. Practically Magic Company. So cool. I guess. I mean, I'll check them out. Ooh. I know exactly what this is. I just don't know which crystal it is. It's a wand, though. I can tell by the shape. It's round on the bottom and it's long and it's pointed. I love these. Unless it's selenite, because I already have a selenite. And a selenite. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Now I have 2. And this one's actually longer. Do with that what you will. And herbs. Oh, loose incense. That would be why there's charcoal discs. And the box almost fell, but I caught it. Contains copal, blackberry leaves, allspice, vanilla, rosemary, frankincense oil. Alright. At least they tell me what's in it. Oh gosh, I can smell it already. That smells good. It smells like tea. I can definitely smell the allspice. I hope this smells just as good as it's burned. It smells like the perfect blend of every season of the year. Like, I can imagine this as the smell of spring and summer and fall and winter. It's just got that blend, you know, it's got the rosemary and then the frankincense and the allspice and what else? Blackberry leaves. Yeah, it's like vanilla and allspice is for fall / winter. Yeah, rosemary is like spring, blackberry leaves is summer, frankincense pulls all together. Very pleasing, very, very homey smelling, like fireplace, hearth, and hot cup of cider. But balanced out with a slight fruit, so it's not, you know, overly wood smoke smelling. I think that's everything. Yep, that was everything. And you know what? That was perfectly fine. That was perfectly enough. Okay. Put the box on the floor. My cat will probably come running in and try to play with it. Okay. For this ritual, you will be creating a magical grid to honor Lu. Gridding is a manifestation tool that can help focus and direct energy. As an offering for Lu's continued selflessness and sight, you will need to look deep within and choose something to give up for the greater good. I'm so sick of giving up stuff. Like, why can't I just, you know, provide, like, give something to the world for the greater good? Why do I have to personally sacrifice something? It doesn't seem necessary. This sacrifice doesn't have to be a major life change, but it should represent a step in the direction of your life purpose. Choose one personal item to represent your sacrifice to Lu and 3 items that represent the abundance that will follow. To represent my sacrifice or to be my sacrifice? This ritual is best performed in an outdoor garden in the moments before sunset. I don't have a garden. Everything I try to grow dies. I'm a horrible earth guardian. I'm an air spirit. I'm a Libra. I am of the air. Oh, goodness. Which you'd think would help with planting because, you know, I breathe out carbon dioxide, which the plants need, and they give me the oxygen, and as an air spirit, I would love that, but no. Every time I try to plant something, it rains incessantly and drowns it. Because I plant in pots, because my soil where I live sucks, and I don't want to invest in gardening soil for the ground. It's going to just get eroded away. Too many factors that I can't keep up with. Gather your ritual tools, personal items, a blanket, and a burn plate. I do have something. It's a candle holder, but it's like cast iron, so it'll work. Spend a few minutes familiarizing yourself with your sacred space. If possible, take off your shoes and feel the earth beneath your feet. Gather a small handful of stones or earth elements that speak to you. If you see flowers or fruits ready for harvest, take a cutting and set nearby the ritual tools. Nope. Well, no, there are some bushes in my front yard that were there when we moved here, and they seem to be doing fine without my involvement. And actually there are some buds in the one plant that are starting to open, and they're like this beautiful purple. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what kind of plant it is. But they're really long stalks that come up from like the bushy leaves, and it's like a single flower on each stalk, and it opens up and they're like this tulip shape. It's beautiful. I might do that if they're bloomed by the time I do this. There's a couple of them starting to open. Lie out your blanket and smudge your body, your space, and the tools. Using your wand, if the ground is soft, etch the template for your grid into the earth. Spend a few moments admiring this empty slate. Let your eyes wander over any intersecting lines or geometric shapes that make up the pathways. Focus on what you wish to manifest with the help of Lu and Mother Earth. Concentrate on this intention until it rests comfortably in your mind. When you're ready to begin, place the corn husk doll between yourself and the grid. Place the ritual candle in the center. By positioning this candle in the middle, we reiterate that all life revolves around the Great Mother. How is it going to stay upright? I guess I could, like, wedge it in the soil and maybe wet the soil so it muds around the... On the pathway directly surrounding the candle, place the personal object that represents your sacrifice. Thank Lu for removing this distraction from your life and release all feelings of loss associated with this liberation. The only thing distracting in my life right now is my job, which is, you know, technically what society says I live for anyway, so... I mean, I guess I could get rid of one of my crystals. Even though I don't want to. But that's not really a distraction, because I really don't use them as much as I should as a practicing witch, so they kind of just sit around as decoration, sadly. I'm one of those people. And again, even if it's representing a sacrifice, what am I sacrificing? I do very little. I eat, I sleep, I work, I write, I watch Netflix, I do this, I practice some magic, and that's the extent. Oh, and I play video games. That's the extent of my life, in a nutshell. I guess I could sacrifice some of my, like, private time and socialize more with my family, even though I kind of don't like them. Kind of maybe sacrifice my comfort. Instead of, like, rather than sacrificing actual action or thing, sacrifice something about me that is safe in order to do something good for someone else. That's an idea. Place the 3 personal objects representing abundance on the outermost pathway. As you place each item, give thanks to Mother Earth for her affluence. Visualize the gifts that she bestows upon you in exchange for honoring Lu. Focus on the expansion of your solar plexus as you prepare to receive her bounty. If you've collected plant cutting stones or other elements from the garden or your personal collection, now would be the time to place them within the grid. If you're unsure about positioning these items, use intuition as a guide. The grid should mirror your intention and be visually appealing. It may trigger an emotional release followed by a sense of reassurance. When the grid feels complete, it's time to activate. Place the harvest incense and charcoal in a burn plate. Set to the right of the grid and light. Light the ritual candle. Rest your dominant hand on the corn husk doll while taking the selenite wand in your non-dominant hand. Using the candle as a starting point, begin to draw invisible lines connecting all the elements in your grid. Let intuition guide the wand. Finish back at the center. Your grid is now activated. Meditate on your intention for as long as it takes the incense to burn out completely. Do not break contact with the corn husk doll until you bring your ritual to a close. After the ritual, display the doll on your altar or another sacred space to act as a reminder of your promise to Lu. Keep your grid in place for at least 12 hours. Allow it to charge under the waning light of the sun and the nourishing light of the moon. Okay, so I've got to pick sometime in the future where it's not raining, because it's been raining off and on for almost 10 days now here. Okay. The corn husk doll represents the grain mother and the importance of libations before bounty. Oh boy. Use this doll during ritual to unite Lu and the goddess. Afterwards, display on your altar or use as a centerpiece for harvest celebrations. Traditionally, the corn dolly was kept until the following year, when it was burned to release the spirit of the previous year's harvest. To instill personal power into the doll, attach native leaves, vines, or dried flowers to yours. Ritual candle. This orange beeswax candle symbolizes Mother Earth and the goddess of harvest. Place in the center of your grid to represent the cyclical nature of life. Harvest incense is our house blend that can be lit as an offering to Lu. Place a small amount on a burn plate with a charcoal burner. When your grid is complete, light the incense as you activate the grid with your wand. Meditate on the intention behind your grid until the incense burns out completely. Selenite wand. Lu is known for his collection of magical spears, his weapon of choice during the battles that shaped his destiny. Wield this wand to influence your own destiny and empower the pathways of your grid. Earth grid. Using Mother Earth as your paper and the wand as your pencil, draw a grid template for this ritual. It's best to etch the grid in sand or loose soil. If the earth is too hard, use a rock as your drawing utensil so as not to damage the wand. This intuitive template is a clean slate that you will use to create a visual pathway of intention. Your earth grid can be as simple or ornate as you like. Include lines and geometric patterns if you feel so inclined. There are no rules in creating a grid. Your pathway is deeply personal, so focus on what feels authentic. You will need one personal item that represents your offering to Lu. This is your sacrificial item, something that you are forfeiting for the betterment of yourself and others. This sacrifice may be breaking a bad habit, such as consuming excessive soda, alcohol, or repeated tardiness. You may wish to sacrifice 15 minutes of sleep in order to create 15 minutes of meditation or yoga time in the morning. Or you may choose to sacrifice convenience by disconnecting from technology for a moon cycle and practicing mindfulness. Choose an item to symbolize this sacrifice. Place on the pathway directly surrounding the ritual candle. Okay, so they agree. It doesn't have to be something like physical. You will need 3 personal items that represent the abundance to be gained from this sacrifice. Some of our favorite personal items to use in creating magical grid are coins, journal entries, a timepiece, photos, jewelry, crystals, stones, plants, seeds, fossils, runes, tarot cards, or other relics that speak to you. Lu is the patron of artists, craftsmen, and poets, so a handmade item drawing or written intentions are always appreciated. Place on the outermost pathway of the grid. I could write a poem just for this. That would make it even more special for this ritual. I mean, I have this talent, I should use it. Anyway, until next time, good journey, loves.